Welcome to the Rest and Recovery Day at the end of week 4 for our 30-day LSIT challenge. Thank you so much for joining me in this. I'm very proud of your progress. I love seeing all of your comments and shares and wins. Please continue, keep that up, cheer yourself on. It doesn't matter if it's 1 second increase or you just felt something more in your body that was different. Those are all reasons to celebrate, and that celebration of our little wins is what keeps us going. So don't wait till you're lifting off the ground to celebrate. Don't caveat your celebrations. Don't say, I only did this. Don't say I did this, but. Those celebrations are completely valid without caveating them with the onlys or the buts. Be proud, be excited. Don't wait to celebrate. Experience the joy in the journey, because you'll eventually realize that that's all there is. There is no destination. There's always a next goal for people who are growing. And if you were here with me, you're someone who is growing. So don't wait till you arrive at a destination or a goal in your mind to love yourself and celebrate your progress, because you'll be waiting all your life. So celebrate now, love yourself now, be there in the moment and enjoy and celebrate. Feel what it's like to be in your body. Practice a little gratitude. Don't beat yourself up. It's been a very, very long week for me. I'm sure it has for you as well. We've been moving and traveling, and I guess I finally found the combination of events that kind of derails my personal practice. So I've taken the last 4 or 5 days off of practice, and I can definitely feel the difference in my body and in my mind too. It's very interesting how much of a difference we experience in just our way of being and relating to our friends and family and the world around us when we take a little time to invest in ourselves and create some space in our body and our minds. Even just a little bit of time every day makes a huge difference. And so I'm thinking through that this week and learning to appreciate all the time that I've invested in myself and my practice. It really does make a difference, and sometimes it takes a big life change to derail us from our habits to help us appreciate those things, and it's a wonderful opportunity. So if you are feeling out of whack and flustered and your routine's all thrown off, take it as an opportunity. If you allow it to be, it can be a great growth opportunity. So be grateful, take what you can, let go what you don't like. And when you're ready, come join me on the mat. We're going to take a little bit of stretching today to kind of work it out. I don't know about you guys, but I've been in a lot of planes and cars, and moving always uses some strange muscles. I've been trying to pay attention to how I can engage my TVA and my lats while we're moving in a lot of different ways, and that's helped keep me engaged and also get rid of the judge that lives in our head, right? That says, you didn't practice today, like you're terrible, your life's falling apart. We all have those voices in our minds. We all have that temptation for negativity that makes us want to quit. But remember, it's just a passing thing. And if you don't pay attention to it, you don't engage with it, it'll go away. So cheer yourself on. Remind yourself that you're doing good here by showing up. And always do your best. Your best may change from day to day, and that's okay. So the best practice you have while you're moving, it's not going to be the same as the best practice you have while you're settled down somewhere. The best practice you have traveling is not going to be the same as the best practice when you're at home. Best practice when you have a support network is not going to be the same as your best practice when you don't. Your best practice when you're in mourning is going to be very different than when you're in joy. And that's okay. So pay attention to the ebb and flow in life and just let it be. Don't be afraid that it's all going to end, or that this moment indicates all of your life, because it doesn't. Just let the change come and know that you're going to be okay through it. When you're ready, join me in something comfortable on your mat or on the floor. I am here in a mostly empty house, stealing a few quiet moments during the move. Go ahead and switch your legs from what you normally do, a little yoga for the brain. Switch your crisscross, see how it feels to be a little bit different here. We're going to take a side body stretch first, so you can plant your hands back behind your knees, and then we're going to inhale up, stretching over to the left, right arm up, I got a nice pop there in the back. Keeping your chest lifted forward, so you're going to imagine a beam of light shining from your heart to the ceiling. So we're going to keep our chest nice and open here as we get a gentle stretch through the right side body. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can lean deeper, but there's no need to crank it out. We don't have anything to prove. We just want to take care of our bodies today. Notice what it feels like to be ourselves and accept it. Exhale, bringing the hand back down. Inhaling, left hand comes up, stretching over to the right side, shining your heart up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths here. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can stretch more. But pay attention to what your body needs. If it just needs a gentle stretch, that's completely fine. Some days our body really wants to take it to the limit, some days it doesn't. And that's okay, both are okay. Both are necessary. The ebb and flow. Exhale, bring it back down. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together in front of us. Scoot your booty back or forward, whatever's most comfortable. So come to a comfortable seat here with your distance, with your feet away from your pelvic bowl. It'll be further away if your hips aren't quite as open, and that's okay. Find somewhere where you can sit comfortably. And we're going to inhale, hands all the way up. Exhale as we pour our bodies down over our feet. And you may come here to hands if you feel a lot of pressure in the hips or any pressure at all in the knees, any pain. You can lift your bottom up on a block or a towel or a blanket or a pillow to give yourself some more space in the knees. If it's available, or after a few breaths, you may be able to bring your forearms to the floor. And then eventually we'll let our heads drop down and relax. So we take a few deep breaths here, breathing into our hips, letting them open, getting a nice deep stretch here. Our hips carry so much weight and emotion and tension. It's important to take some time to open them up. This is a pretty intense stretch, so don't be worried or concerned if you're feeling a very intense sensation in your hip. It's important to learn to differentiate between discomfort and pain. Discomfort is acceptable, discomfort is good, discomfort is growth. The only way that we can change and grow is to get out of our comfort zone. So the only way that we can develop new skills and new postures and new flexibility and new strength is to be uncomfortable and accept that process, because all growth is uncomfortable. But pain is our body's signal that we're going a little too far or a little too fast, and that we need to pause and ask our body what it needs. So if you're uncomfortable, that's okay, that's normal. Accept it, breathe into it. You can tell yourself it's okay to be uncomfortable. It is. Nothing's going to happen. But if you feel a sharp sensation, that's pain. So you'll want to back out of the posture. You can bring the knees together. You can prop yourself up on a chair or a block or a pillow, and then stretch your feet out further in front of you. That's going to give you more space to access the hips without harming the knees. And as you grow in your practice and as you do more kinds of stretching like this to open the hips, all of those little muscles that make their way down from our hip flexors into our knees will grow, and they'll have more space, and you'll find yourself able to access more postures and more deep postures than you could previously. But it takes time, just like flowers blossom in time. You can't pry them open without damaging them. So give yourself permission to be where you are today. Give yourself permission to experience discomfort and growth, and love yourself through it.
And when you're satisfied, go ahead and walk yourself back up.
You can use your hands to gently bring your knees back together. Give yourself a nice big hug. Oh, those hip flexors had a nice deep stretch. Notice what it feels like to come back to center after that stretch. And then take your left foot straight out in front of you. We're going to keep our right foot tucked in close to us here. We're going to hug our right knee. And then we're going to take our left arm, hugging the right knee here, wrapped around. And we're going to twist, putting the right hand back behind us. And we're going to sit up nice and tall, imagining the crown of our head stretching towards the ceiling. And we're going to use our core, so engage your TVA, the muscles we've been working with the L-sets, and use that to turn your body. So don't press your hand into the ground behind you and crank it back. We don't want to hurt ourselves. You can lift your hand up. You might put your hand palm up on the ground so you don't use it to twist yourself harder than you need to, but engage the core and twist yourself around to the right side. And leave your hand up like this, like I am. You can rest on the floor, but be very conscious of not using it as a tool to press into the ground. Exhale, bring it back to center, and we're going to take it on the other side. So right foot comes out in front of us, left tucks in, giving our leg a nice little hug here. Then we're going to wrap our right arm around it. We're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to close our eyes and imagine ourselves in that same Dandasana position, staff pose, where we start L-sit. We're imagining our hands pressing down onto the floor, the blocks, and then we're feeling in our bodies what that engagement feels like as we engage our TVA and we pull up and back. And we're going to use that same muscle to open up to the left here in a twist. So we're hugging our left knee, but we're not grasping or pulling here. And we're just allowing our body to take us into the deepest twist that it would like to go to, not forcing anything today. And release. Let's take a nice shoulder stretch here. Wiggle back and forth, get the pops out. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, come into a puppy posture. So starting from a tabletop position with our hands planted firmly on the ground, knees under the hip points, shoulders over our wrists. We're going to place our forearms down on the mat, elbows roughly where our hands were previously, and then we're going to back our knees up, and we're going to lean back, booty up in the air. Our back is arching slightly, pressing the hands down to the mat. We're melting our heart towards the mat, opening the shoulders. You may feel your shoulder blades rotate down and inward. That's good. You'll feel a very deep stretching sensation along the outside of your shoulders and also the top where your shoulder meets your bicep. Relax any tension out of your neck here. And don't worry about how you look. Worry about how it feels. Or don't worry at all. Just consider how the body feels. What a nice stretch it is. When you feel satisfied, you can just bring it forward. Gonna set down into a Sphinx pose here. So resting the tops of our feet on the mat. Legs are touching the mat. Hands are still pressed in. Neck is relaxed, so we're not straining here. Our hands are on the mat, but they're not cranking us back into the posture. So make sure there's not tension here. Feeling a nice stretch in our back that stretches the other side of the shoulder muscles that we just engaged there in our puppy posture. So this should feel more in the shoulders, kind of like a closed feeling, while the puppy pose is more of an open feeling. Now on exhale, bring it back to child's pose. You can have your knees wide here, big toes together in the center, or you can bring your toes together. Hands can be out in front of you, or if you're really needing comfort today, you can bring your legs together, arms down, hands pointing back to the back of the mat, and release here. Let the arms hang down without tension. Let the forehead rest on your mat or the floor, wherever you are, and just take a few breaths here. Letting out all of the tension, releasing the tongue off the roof of the mouth, releasing any facial expression you may have, releasing the tension from between the shoulders and letting those arms sag down. Breathing lots of love in and lots of love out. Feel free to stay here for a little while, thanking yourself for showing up, being here today, loving yourself. When you're ready, roll on up. Come to join me in a comfortable seat. Close your eyes. You can rest your hands in your lap or on your knees, to your sides, and sit down on a couch or on a pillow, whatever's comfortable. And just take a few breaths here and notice what it's like to be in your body. Notice the changes. How do you feel different now than you did a few moments ago when we began? How does your body feel different? How does your mind feel different? Does the world around you seem to have a different tone than it did before? Is there maybe a little less stress, maybe a little more? Thank you for making the time to join me here today. It's so important that we make time to love ourselves and be together in community. And I'm very, very grateful to have you as a part of my community, my extended family. I need you just as much as you need me. And it is incredibly fulfilling for me to be able to come here and be with you and share my practice with you. So thank you for making time in your busy schedule to be here with me and give of your time. It's the most valuable thing we have to give, so I appreciate it very much. Thank you guys. I'm excited to see where we go from here towards the end of our 30-day challenge and where it takes us afterward. So congratulations on making it this far. Way to go. Pat yourself on the back. I'm very proud of you. And thank you for joining me here today. I'll see you tomorrow for the last few days of our 30-day challenge.